just watch the fight and see. Canelo got a granite chin. He's been hurt before, but, he have been hit cleanly and he took it real well. And, anything is possible.
Terence Crawford didn't brag or talk badly about other people. He told everyone quietly that Canelo's chin was like stone, but even the hardest things can break. With just one line, Crawford turned respect into a scary warning. Crawford then talked about the way of thinking that helped him prepare. He added, each camp we put in 110%, we don't leave any stones unturned. This is more than just trust. This fighter is telling everyone that he's ready for anything. I think Crawford means that nothing will surprise him when the bell rings. Every hit, counterattack, and exchange has already been practiced. Fans may be looking forward to a fight where tactics and willpower clash. That's when the unexpected always comes as a punch. This is something that many people think, not just Crawford. Fans were going crazy after his coach, Brian McIntyre, made another harsh
train the same way. He trained hard. He trained every fight like it's going to be his last fight. And I'm just waiting so he can upset the world.
Yeah, that's right.
He's going to upset the motherfucking world. Watch. Just watch, man. Ain't no cakewalk, though.
Of course.
But he gonna wreck though, man.
It was clear from Bomac that this wasn't a normal fight. There is war. He said it with pure passion. They're training for the kind of night that rocks the boxing world. There are no quick or easy ways to get there. Only hurt and grit. Every word he spoke showed how strongly he felt about what he was saying. When a teacher talks like that, you know that something dangerous is being planned for fight night. After that, Bomac went on. He talked about why Crawford's rise to 168 is more of a fate than a risk.
And listen, let me tell you, man, he should have been at 68 a long time ago, but, myself, just make him take advantage of 35, 40, 47. If you can make it, let's make it. After he accomplished everything they accomplished, you can't be mad at him when he say, hey man, I'm gonna fight you. Canelo at 168. When he naturally walk around big any goddamn way.
Right. Bomac says Crawford has been strong and big in ways that fans don't always see on the scale. Before getting to this point, he proved himself many times over and got through every class he came across. He is no longer trying to be great at age 168. It's what he wants, Bomac's words were skewed by someone who knows how well his opponent fits the role. If Canelo is right, he could be facing the storm of his career. Then Bomac took apart the real model. He made it clear why Crawford can change the direction of the fight and why Canelo's strength isn't the deciding factor.
Shit, I don't give a fuck about that power. Well, how you beat power?
Speed.
You said what?
Speed.
And what else?
IQ.
Timing.
That's why you're the coach and I'm not.
I mean, you make some good, you got some good answers, but that power ain't gonna be able to sustain throughout the fight. Watch. And he usually slows down between 6 and 7. If you slow down, that's over.
Bomac showed, with calm confidence, that skills like timing, speed, and ring IQ can beat even the best puncher. His main point was that as the rounds go on, power decreases, giving smarter fighters chances to get the upper hand. As Canelo slows down, he thinks Crawford will be able to hit the ball the best. That plan was more than just a trick. It sounded like someone was telling them what was going to happen. And if that prediction comes true, there could be a surprise. Ending to fight night, Bomac didn't just talk about theory. He talked about what Canelo had done in the ring before.
See him slow down, going into the later rounds, and I didn't see him get outboxed.
He warned everyone that Canelo has shown weakness in the past, which is especially important as the fight goes into the later rounds. At that point, players start to feel tired. Their timing starts to go off, and more experienced opponents get into a groove. Bomac doesn't think this is a guess. There is a pattern just waiting to be found. His voice was like that of a teacher who is very aware of what could be done, and Crawford's fear of an upset might not be so far-fetched, after all, if he can take the fight really deep. He talked about everything, Even Canelo's latest attempt to bring in Yaron Boutsanis for camp sparring, he made it clear that nothing will change.
Hey, like I said, that don't mean, all that don't mean nothing. That ain't gonna help him. He should have just got the last cab driver he just fought. Cause that don't mean nothing, man. All that don't mean nothing. You ain't no Bud Crawford. They don't have that mentality. Having that mentality and going upside your head at the same time, man. I don't give a fuck about all that shit.
He was clear in what he said. The way Crawford fights or thinks won't be ready for Canelo, no matter who he brings in. Sparring partners can copy the skills of the boxer who lives on big events, but they can't copy the way they think. He feels like Canelo's team is wasting their time here, trying to make something happen again that can't be done. The tone of Bomax's voice was one of confidence, not arrogance, and it is this conviction that gives the threat a real feel. With fight night coming up, Coach Bernie, who was also from Crawford's camp, took over and emphasized the lesson. He talked just as hard, which made it clear that they were sure they could win this fight.
Intelligence, yes. Standard trade, depends on if it's worked for him or not. Crawford know how to adjust in every second, every minute. That's why he's the best. Y'all bums don't want to believe it. That's why he's the best. However we got to get the job done, our hand will be raised. That's it. Now I don't give a how you like it or how you slice it. He gonna get his hand raised. That's it. That's it. Bums.
Bernie praised Crawford's intelligence and called him a fighter who always knows how to handle a problem. He thinks that Crawford is different from other players because he can do many things. It's more than just trading hits. The goal is to destroy an enemy piece by piece until there is nothing left. He spoke with the confidence of someone who had seen Crawford's power far too often. And the message to Canelo couldn't be clearer. Given how much faith is in the camp, things won't go as planned in this battle. People who fight with Crawford are also speaking out. Al Stanton, Bud's ringmate, talked about what makes him so dangerous.
He don't look like a 38-year-old in the ring. I just say that. Experience. I sparred him a few times. He's good experience, and he's just different, man. His heart different. I really think he's gonna pull this off.
Stanton made it clear that Crawford doesn't fight like a man who is getting close to the end of his career. Instead, he has the energy and sharpness of a man in his prime, driven by something bigger than his age. The warning is stronger if it comes from someone who has really seen how strong and fast Crawford is. It's not just outside talk, proof from the gym itself. It also makes you more interested in what might happen on fight night when even his sparring buddies believe he's ready to shock the world. In the meantime, Crawford talked about more than just Canelo. He thought about the problems that had made him who he was. He had to prove how great he was in every big fight.
Yeah, you can say that, but they all challenges. You know, when you get on this level, it's about who won it the most at the end of the day. You know, when you look at Spence, that was my biggest challenge. When you look at Postal, that was my biggest challenge. When you look at Majmal, that was one of my big challenges because I was moving up in weight and, you know, given the circumstances that, you know, his background, amateur background and things like that, Gamboa was my biggest. They all big challenges in their own right.
Every fight, from Spence to Gamboa, pushed him in a different way. Crawford has seen and done it all, including facing winners at their best, going up in weight, and fighting people with great amateur records. He didn't just forget about the past. He was using it to show how much real combat training he had. That background is important because it shows that he can handle high-stakes scenarios. He thinks this is just the next test now that he's stepped in against Canelo. He's going to put his flag on one more peak. But what really stood out was how he talked about his training camp for this fight. Crawford talked about what makes this camp different from the others.
That's what we're working out. Yeah, you know, like I said before, the only thing about this camp different than any other camp is I don't gotta cut muscle. I don't gotta, you know, watch what I do in strength condition. I can, you know, go fully all out, you know, and just do what I need to do to get stronger.
No need for the stress of cutting muscle. He is now able to work harder than ever, strength and fitness training at full power, with no limits or holds backs. On fight night, that difference might be enough to give him the edge. Anyone Crawford fights is scared of the idea of a fresher, stronger Crawford, but is ready to show a new side since nothing is stopping him, a version that is meant to shock everyone. Crawford quickly turned the attention back to Canelo's most recent effort. Crawford doesn't believe that the Mexican star is losing his form.
You know, that's not a fight that I really, look into because, Canelo is a great fighter, and one bad performance don't define a fighter. Given the circumstances of his previous fights, and we looking forward to Canelo being the best Canelo that he can be. Skull might not have made him get to that point where he felt any danger or any significance where he had to go to that deeper level in training or take the fight as serious as he's taking this fight. So, I don't know what was up with that fight.
It was clear that one bad night doesn't define a boxer like Canelo, and he gave credit where credit was due. Instead, he looks forward to the best possible form of his opponent, more driven, hungry, and smart than before. Crawford thinks the only way to get ready is to treat Canelo like the winner that he is. It was a warning that there will be no easy ways out on September 13th, which may have made things worse. When both men are at their best, it will be hard to keep the sparks quiet. He also talked about how he planned to approach Canelo. Russell. Crawford's answer was clear and sure.
My fight, you know what I mean? A lot of people, they have their opinions. They have, what's going to happen in the fight, but they don't know what they talking about. They just got to watch the fight, and then after the fight, then they make they comments, because a lot of people is just premeditated and just, talking.
Talk from other people or opinions before a fight don't bother him. He thinks that the best way to win is to keep doing what helped him become famous. Critics and fans have ideas, but Crawford thinks the truth will only be known inside the ring. Having that calm confidence is stronger than making bold claims. In addition, a fighter who is the focus sends a quiet but powerful message to the world. A reminder that staying quiet before a storm can be the most dangerous thing you can do. After that, Crawford's voice got very angry as he talked. Crawford made it clear that Canelo is taking this fight very seriously.
And the best fighter in the world, you better be taking it serious. That goes to show, how serious he's taking me and how much he respects me. Mm-hmm. Because, if I haven't fought anyone, if I was too small, if I was, all these things that all the media say I was, then he wouldn't need these guys to help prepare him to fight me. He wouldn't, need all the help that, he's getting. But I'm happy that he's getting the help that he needs, because, after, September 13th, there'll be no excuses.
Canelo wouldn't need all this extra preparation if he were too small, unproven, or not a real threat, he stated. But is getting help from the top, which shows that Alvarez respects him. Crawford said that he wants his opponent to be at his best, which the other man agreed with. Because of this, there will be no excuses after the battle is over. And those words set the stage for a fight where everything was on the line. An epic fight that changes histories and puts reputations to the test. Crawford said that this fight felt different, even though he had fought many times before. This is what he said because of everything going on around it, not just the opponent. This time is bigger than any other because of how heavy it is, how long it will last, and how hard it is. He knows what will happen next will be remembered by history and that everyone will be watching. Crawford doesn't think that pressure is too much for him. It's fuel. When the stakes are high, he gets smarter. This fight with Canelo is very dangerous because of this. Because history doesn't wait, it needs to be made. Crawford also talked about the similarities with Canelo's new practice partner, Jaron Boots. He didn't believe that anyone could really copy his way, moving around, changing the beat, and taking down enemies. Everything about him makes him unique. Crawford made it clear. No matter how good he is, Boots isn't, buddy. Canelo can't get ready for that small difference in practice, and because you can copy the moves but not the guy. Being yourself can be the deciding factor on fight night. Then Wade talked about why this fight is more important than other big events. He told both of them how big this fight was. Crawford could become the first person to win all 3 classes without a challenge.
Dude, this is the biggest fight of the year. This opportunity for Terence Crawford to become 3-division undisputed is insane. Canelo is the biggest star in the sport, and for him to be able to one more time go out there and prove why he's been able to jump from 150 to 4 to 60 to 168 and show people that he is still the man is a massive opportunity for him to add on to his legacy. This is a legacy-making fight for Terence Crawford. It's another legacy fight for Canelo.
Canelo is already the most famous boxer in the world, but Wade said that this fight will make Crawford famous. If he beats Canelo, his name will go down in boxing history forever. This is another chance for Canelo to show why he has conquered many weight classes. Both men's names are on the line when they step into the ring, so Wade's words have weight. This fight isn't like most of them. It's the most important event in boxing this year, the kind of fight that dreams are made of. Wade didn't think twice about who had the upper hand when he was asked. He pushed for Canelo Alvarez and talked about the Mexican star's long history and many skills.
And I'm rolling with Saul, man. Canelo Alvarez is who I'm going with. He just has so much experience in big fights. He does have an answer, it seems like, for a lot of different styles. And I just feel like he doesn't have to make as much adjustments and concessions as Terence Crawford does, moving up in weight, training at that weight, fighting at that weight, and just all the nuances that come with fighting Canelo. Because everybody just thinks, oh, Canelo is just a flat-footed guy, then head movement, upper body movement, and he's just going to tag you with power punches. People forget who Canelo was at 160, and even he came into 168. I expect that Canelo to show up on September 13th.
Wade made it clear that Canelo has been here before and done well. The changes, the weight, the training, and the details of fighting at 168 work in Canelo's favor. Crawford, on the other hand, is going where no one has gone before. Wade warned that too many fans had forgotten how dangerous Canelo looked when he was 160 pounds and when he was first storming at 168 pounds. He thinks that Canelo will show up on fight night. If that's true, Crawford could be in a lot of trouble, the kind of trouble that only a famous person can start. Wade, on the other hand, couldn't ignore the fact that Crawford is such a clear threat. It was agreed that Crawford doesn't give up quickly. His high level of competitive fire makes him one of the most dangerous fighters living.
Terence Crawford is not a guy that's going to get, I mean, he may get nervous, but it's not something that's like, oh, it's going to affect him in the fight. Yeah. He's a dog, man. Terence Crawford's a dog, and that's why you love this fight, because it's not something where it's like, oh, here goes another Canelo win, or oh, Terence Crawford, another. This is a real fight, and for Terence, man, his personality is compete at everything. He wants to compete with you in video games, board games, chess. He wants to run a 40-yard sprint and beat you, so this guy is not accustomed to losing, right? He's undefeated. So yeah, anytime I'm around Terence, he's grabbing you on the wrist and trying to wrestle you, or you talk about American football, he's like, let's go throw right now. You know, he wants to do all of it. So I expect that same attitude that he's brought into every fight to be in this one. And this is why, as much as I say I think Canelo Alvarez is going to win, one side of my brain is like, dude, you're crazy. You've been in the room with that guy. You know how big he is. You know how strong he is, and you know his competitive mindset. So I flip back and forth every day because Terence Crawford is that good.
Wade said that Crawford was like a dog, a man who hates losing at everything, even chess, running, and fights. He hasn't lost since then and has become one of the most feared experts in the sport because of it. Wade said that even though he was rooting for Canelo, he heard a voice in his head telling him that Crawford could change the outcome of the fight. He knows how Crawford thinks, has seen how strong he is, and can feel his energy. Terence Crawford is so good that he keeps changing what he thinks will happen. Crawford's practice partners agree that the size of the fight can be hard on the mind. Vargas Jr. talked about how important this moment was and how Crawford chose to handle the stress. Instead of thinking too much, he is focused on being totally ready. Vargas made it clear that Crawford is not going to let past get in the way of his plans. His main goal is to be the best form of himself, practicing hard and giving it my all. There are no shortcuts or excuses, only hard work and full commitment. That way of thinking makes a fighter very dangerous on nights like today. The warning was easy to understand and worked well. When Crawford steps into the ring, everything will be over, which could be the difference in such a big fight. But Vargas also asked the most important question that all fans have. He agreed that he felt skilled after training with Crawford, but he wasn't sure if Bud could handle the power that Canelo used late in the fight.
You know, I'm not Canelo. You know what I mean? Like, Canelo, I mean, I know you see the videos of him rolling on his neck, and Canelo's strong, bro. Canelo's strong. I just want to see if Crawford is able to withstand that punch, bro. Like, 1 to 6, 7th, 8th round, and, you know, you're sitting a little bit more. You're not using your footwork. You're not turning as much. Can Crawford withstand that? If Crawford can withstand that, I could see Crawford winning, but I just feel he won't be able to take Canelo's best shot, I feel.
Vargas said that Canelo was naturally strong. This type of boxer throws punches that work well into the next round. Once the ring gets smaller, the movement slows down, and the fight turns into an endurance race. At the end of the day, he wasn't sure Crawford could handle that sentence. Someone who has been inside with Bud gave an honest review. His doubt also makes things more tense, since the fight could go in a shocking direction if Crawford can use that power. It's finally here, the biggest fight of the year, and Terence Crawford may be taking the biggest risk of all. There is one side led by Canelo Alvarez, the boxing hero who is strong, experienced, and can beat almost anyone who stands in his way. Terence "Bud" Crawford, on the other hand, has never lost a fight and is sure that his skill, timing, and ring smarts will help him beat the king when he moves up in weight class. With his strength and speed, do you think Crawford can really hit 168? Will Canelo's knowledge and strength be too much? Or will there be an upset that changes what it means to be great based on pound for pound? Please say what you think in the place below for comments. Don't forget to subscribe to our station to see more fight updates, reactions, and analysis. Don't miss a second of this because it will go down in history.